Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we are live a little early this afternoon, 5:46 p.m. on the Pacific clock, February the 8th, 2023, on with Mac 17, my co-host tonight. And Mac will be here in a little while, a few minutes. I went live about 15 minutes early tonight. Played a little intro music. We're getting used to this board, new station, new place, new space, and trying to get the hang of all of these widgets and gadgets and gadgets and levers and buttons and things here on this board. It's kind of interesting. I hope my producer has everything set right tonight. We have been having audio problems in the past with this thing, but I think we've got some of the bugs worked out. Not all of them by any stretch of the imagination, but definitely a few of them. I see we've used 6 hours of our 500 hours we paid for on this station, which is interesting. I wish my producer would have brought in another music track tonight. That would have been nice. Something different. Maybe tomorrow night, depending on what tomorrow night is. I don't even know. I'm not looking at my calendar. I don't keep track of the days anymore. I don't even keep track of the date anymore in this simulation, this machine that we're floating around in here. Uh, Floating around is a good word for it. Tonight we're going to be kind of reiterating Max Planck, some of his theories in quantum physics again, talking about the matrix and talking about matter versus the ether, dark matter, and the void, and empty space, and all of these kinds of things. Does nothing really exist? Some more, esoteric stuff, ontological stuff. Uh, I hate to even use the word empirical anymore. It doesn't really make any sense in the context of our narrative, um, considering we don't believe in reality. Uh, we're going to take kind of a nihilistic view. We have kind of plunged into a deep well of nihilism here on the show, which I think is very interesting, to say the least. Um, I'm going to have to go out there and search and see how many nihilists there are around the United States and see if I can join up with a few of these folks and talk about some of these many different nihilistic viewpoints in philosophy and religion and uh, other areas of nihilism. You know, a nihilistic view is kind of where you get to when you reach the pinnacle of your consciousness, kind of reach the top of the mountain of your analysis, paralysis of what goes on here in the matrix. You just kind of get to a point where your brain becomes kind of numb. You kind of numb out a little bit, or a lot actually. Kind of go through like I said the other night, you go through, like when someone dies, you go through 5 points of grieving, they say. Well, when someone wakes up, as they always use the word wake up now, that's the new buzzword, you go through a lot of different levels of grieving. And it's kind of strange how all of that happens. It's kind of terrifying ride. It's kind of a wild ride on a on a roller coaster with no brakes, or a train traveling at 100 miles an hour with no brakes, straight into a brick wall. It's that scary when you wake up to a point where you're just totally in awe of your awakening. And to get to this point, I haven't gotten many of you to this point yet. Maybe I have. I know we've reached thousands and thousands of people. I really don't know who has gotten to that point. I know that we have about 250 million brain dead Americans out there that we'll be talking about tonight. Uh, which will probably not make a lot of people happy to find out that they're brain dead. That's not a very good thing. But you took the jab, bam, 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 and it's not a good thing. And with all of the other variables involved in the mind control technology that's been going on for eons, you're really brain dead. Most of you, the majority of you, are brain dead, and don't even know it. Don't even realize that you're brain dead. And more so than brain dead, cut off from any major moments of enlightenment, which I'll try to save this for when Max gets here. Going live tonight was, like I said, a mistake to go live early. So I'm going to play one more round of music, and then we'll be back. He wants you to send a picture of me playing the guitar, like right now. Right now. Tell him. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our music stopped. I am back in the studio. Took a little small break there, waiting for Max 17 to get in here. I know y'all are getting tired of hearing that music, same music over and over again. But most of you aren't here, I'm sure. Nobody gets here 15 minutes early. I mean, they used to on our other Blog Talk radio show, but we have some very interesting things to talk about tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Some very incredible things going on around the world, and they're in Turkey and Syria. And we're going to be talking about a little bit about that, and we're going to be talking a little bit about this new Minnesota bill to inject children without their parents' consent. Uh, just total insanity. And if you heard the State of the Union address last night, that was just complete bullshit all the way through. Just total insanity. They're calling it normal versus crazy, Republicans versus Democrats, normal versus crazy. Not bipartisan anymore. They're actually using the word normal versus crazy, which is really cray cray. Rad, man, as I always say, rad, really rad. But a lot of interesting things coming down with your money in the bank we need to talk about tonight. And we're going to talk about carbon credits a little bit tonight. We're going to touch on a few of these things, and I'm going to give my best analysis of what's going on with all of this. Let me look at Skype here. Looks like Max might be ready to go. Brandon, join conversation. Mary? I think Max is ready to come on. I'm trying to get my producer in here to do something. That would be kind of nice to have her do that. Would be nice. If I could get a producer in here, that would be tremendously nice. If I could get a producer over here to hit the button. How do you join? Is that him wanting to join? Is that him ready to join? Okay, good. Well, looks like Max may be coming in.
Hello.
Yeah, he is.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
We are. Yeah, we are live. We are live, my friend. I went live early tonight. I went live actually by accident. I went
Oh,
live about 15 minutes early. Just played music, kind of kick back. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Mac is here. So wow, we can start the show. Well, we've already actually technically started the show, so that was kind of crazy. But yeah, a lot of crazy things going on around the simulation, ladies and gentlemen, here in the machine. Turkey, Syria, devastating, devastating earthquakes, killing thousands of people. I mean, literally, they're blacking most of this out in the media, mainstream Central Intelligence Agency meeting there in the company, blacking most of this out and controlling the narrative as usual.
yes,
Uh,
they are.
as Biden controlled the narrative last night in the State of the Union address and barely could stand up and barely could read the teleprompter. I don't know what they're shooting him up with or dripping into his veins, but whatever it is, it's not good. I will tell you that. He is he barely made it through the teleprompter reading last night with the State of the Union address, and he just lied. Every other second was a lie. I can't believe I was looking at the statistics as he was talking, and of course he was just talking in you know riddles, and just lying, 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 and the American people are eating it up because we have 250 million brain dead people here in the U.S. Incorporated. So they're obviously just eating this up, and so it's amazing how people eat this stuff up, and they just believe every word. They just hinge on every word that this guy says. Those who think Biden is just the cock of the walk, the big rooster in the hen house. And he's a complete idiot, just a complete and utter moron. And I just can't understand these Democrats. Um, and I can't understand MSNBC coming on afterwards saying what a leader he is and what a strong man and a warrior and a bringing people together, bipartisanship, and all of this other crap. This just total crap. I can't believe anyone would fall for any of this, but they are. They have. They did. And he's there, and he was appointed, and I don't know why in the hell he was appointed, unless it was just as a complete diversion or just a complete theater, dog and pony show, or whatever it was. He is there. Uh, and as I said, ladies and gentlemen, he didn't mention anything during the State of the Union address that I can remember concerning the devastation that's going on around the world, except for bragging about fentanyl. Oh, we're gonna, fentanyl. Oh, we're going to work on fentanyl, 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 fentanyl. But he never mentioned where it's coming from. He never mentioned his lack of interest in the border being wide open and all of these foreigners coming in with fentanyl, bags and bags and trainloads of fentanyl coming in from mostly China. Uh, and um, he never mentioned the problem. Where the root of the problem is, we have these open borders, and we had 270 million, 270,000. I'm sorry. Pardon me. Pardon me. 270,000 or so come in just since let's see, well, just in the last few months. I mean, they're just pouring in, and they're just shipping them all over the United States with bags full of fentanyl in hand. And we've got all these zombies walking around in Detroit and New York and Los Angeles and San Francisco and Boston, and we've got all of these zombies walking the streets. I've got video of these fentanyl zombies walking the streets. It just looks like the zombie apocalypse. It's amazing. It's terrifying. It looks like you're watching some kind of sci-fi movie or something. But most of you are too brain dead to even listen to what I'm talking about here. You probably already hung up. But as I said, we have 250 million brain dead avatars here in the game, and it's just kind of ironic that we're here on air. As I said earlier before Matt came in, you reach a certain point. As long as you're a low level avatar, you're just playing a basic game. You're called filler. They call you filler. You're filler in the game. You're just filling up the game. And like extras in a movie, you're extras. You're not. You don't have a speaking part. You don't have any kind of important position in the movie. You're just there for kind of walking around or standing in line or shopping at Walmart or whatever you're doing, walking around in a parking lot. That's what's happening here in the machine, in the Matrix, is we have all of these low-level avatars walking around, just brain-dead avatars walking around. And there are millions of them. And we have these soulless entities here also that are directing and controlling the Matrix. Um, these entities are here. They look just like you and I. They perform tasks and involved in activities just like you and I. One might be living with you now. You wouldn't know it, of course, depending on how intelligent you are, how aware you are, how awake you are. You wouldn't notice in most cases that you're living with a soulless avatar, or you're living with a filler, someone who's just filling up space. When you start growing in your awareness in the matrix and you start becoming a super avatar, you're heading toward nirvana. Let's say you're headed toward a higher consciousness, as the New Age movement has termed it. You're tuning up your chakras, and you're developing a more higher state of intuitiveness, and into what is going on here. You're looking out here, going, wait a minute here. Something is definitely wrong with this picture. Something is not right here. I just can't put my finger on it. It's like you get to a point where you look around at everything and you go, "This is impossible. This is impossible. This is all impossible. This is crazy." you know, you get to a point where um, you wake up and you just look around and go, "What the hell is going on here?" Oh, an apple, a tree, a snake, uh, the Garden of Eden, ascensions, the ancient demons running around grabbing everybody in the ass and biting everybody in the ass, and the devil did this and the devil did that, and pray for this person, pray for that person, and prayer warriors are here, and prayer warriors are there, prayer warriors are everywhere, and they're on Facebook, saying praying, 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 praying. I see that all day long. And blessings, oh, blessings, blessings, blessings. Everything is wonderful. These are just fillers. These are low level, moronic, retarded avatars in the game. Just they're called air breathers by the World Economic Forum, who have a great sense of what I'm talking about tonight. They're filling up space is all they're doing, kind of like I said, extras in a movie. And then you have Neo here, me. You have Neo fighting the Matrix. I've been given the responsibility, which is terrible, which is a really terrible. It's really a difficult responsibility when you really fully become energized in all of this and really get a full view of what's happening. And you've read thousands and thousands of pages, as I have, of information and data and reports and dossiers and top secret intel, and you realize what is actually going on. You really come to a point, as I said earlier, you go through a grieving stage where you, like kind of when someone dies in your family, you go through 5 points of grief, 5 levels of grief. Well, in this case, waking up, I'm talking about really waking up. I'm not talking about these idiots that come on air and say, "I'm awake, I'm awake, I'm awake." And you go, "Yeah, sure, whatever. Go back to work at McDonald's or whatever you're doing." But, uh, you know, when you really, really, really get an awakening, you go through, I'd say, 35 or 40 or 50 states of grieving. You first are completely astounded at what you have woken up to, and you all of a sudden start to perceive things completely different than you did before. Everything is looked at in a completely different way, because you realize that you are just an apparition. If any of you know what an apparition is, a ghost, an apparition, you're just an apparition. Okay, you're just an apparition, and you're looking at other apparitions and dealing with other apparitions in the game, and we call those avatars to make it easy for those of you who have trouble spelling Czechoslovakia, Czechoslovakia. But you know, you're just filler, and you're walking around with all of these zombies, and you're trying to do your job, you're trying to make a living, you're trying to do your thing, and you're doing your routine, and you wake up one day and go, "This is insane. This is not something I want to do anymore. Why even do anything?" When you reach the pinnacle of nirvana, you become a nihilist. And I don't know if any of you know what nihilism is, but you can look it up. You become a nihilist, and you just realize that this is all just meaningless, completely meaningless. There's no purpose whatsoever in any of this that you're floating around in. This foggy mist that you're floating around in is completely meaningless, and there's no purpose whatsoever to it. Their goals and objectives are just silly. Dreams and visions are just insane. Reason and logic has gone out the window. Common sense is not common anymore, and perspective is not perspective. And then you hear the president, presidential critics. They're now saying instead of bipartisanship, they're using the word normal versus crazy, Republican versus Democrat, normal versus crazy. They're not even saying the word bipartisanship anymore. And they're calling abortion at 9 months reproductive health. We've gotten to a point now where we're calling abortion killing babies and shooting their brains full of poison, which I've seen. That's what we do to them. We just throw them, shoot them full of poison. We shoot poison into their brain, and or we'll just tear a leg or an arm off or whatever we can do to kill them. Hit them with a hammer, whatever. And then we're calling this reproductive health. Reproductive health, Biden said last night. We're big on reproductive health, and we're here to support the LGBTP community, and we're here to support the 5,000 genders now that are here with us, and all the children of the little transgender children who want to have their penises ripped off and their genitals mutilated. We're here to fund that, and we're going to stand behind that, the Democratic Party. And so we're passing bills to make sure that these people are protected fully. This is Max. You want to say something? This is where we are today. What?
Yeah, it's crazy. I overheard one of Biden's um talks that he was having, and he said that one of the biggest problems that we were going to be facing was America, as America was black people and what was the other thing?
Latinos.
My yeah, blacks and Latinos. He said there was something. Oh yeah, the shortage of the white race. And I was like, when did he switch up to that? That's crazy. I mean, when he got in, he was talking about he was, with the black people. Now he's talking about they're a problem. It's crazy. It's so much double talk. I mean, like, who voted this fool in? Like, I heard another one where he was talking, and they were like, um, they asked him to describe America in one word, and he said it's and I was like,
Nancy, they asked
what?
they asked Nancy Pelosi about the drug problem in America, and she was her false teeth were coming out or something at the time. She was having trouble with her dentures, and she said, "Well, we have problem with the and one of the guys behind her said fentanyl, and she said fentanyl." And she almost blew her teeth out on the floor there. But yeah, Biden's insane. He's totally insane. And by the way, he wasn't elected. You said he was elected. He's not elected. Presidents are appointed. All of this is a dog and pony show. This is all scripted. This None of this is real.
Yeah, true. True.
President, they're all appointed. They're all appointed. The country club that you and I are not a member of. They're not going to allow anyone to elect anyone. They're not going to allow you to have a voice in anything. Okay, that's the last thing they're going to do is give you or anybody else a voice in who gets elected to the federal level. Now, what we need to do is focus on the local and state level in the simulation in the machine. Now, you still have a chance in the machine. You still have some tools in the toolbox at the local and state level. The problem is people are dropping out of politics right and left because they're so soured on the system. They're so degraded. The system has become so corrupt and so degraded and so insane, just beyond insane. The swamp is so muddy, and the people have just said, to hell with it. I'm not going to get involved in this. And so they're dropping out at the local. Now we're having all of these, the vacuum is sucking in all of these crazy people at the local and state level. So now the local and state level is the swamp. So we're just screwing up the whole system. We're poisoning the whole system. And of course, it's a part of the plan, of course. But you have to look at politics in a way where people say, "Well, I'm a political atheist. I don't believe in any of it. And I'm not going to participate in any of it." Well, by not participating, you're participating. By not making a choice, you've just made a choice. You say, "Well, I'm not going to make a choice." Well, you just made a choice to not make a choice, so you made a choice. Well, people don't understand this. If you don't get involved in the game, you're going to be a little spacer avatar for the rest of your natural life, and your community is going to go to hell in a handbasket, and your whole part of the game is going to be you're going to lose your part of the game. This is why we have ghettos, and this is why we have hoods, and this is why we have white trash and poor black trash and poor Latino trash, and this is why we have drug problems, alcohol problems, and all kinds of 2073 genders now, pronouns now. This is why we have kids having their genitals torn off without their parents' consent. They can get a sex change. This is why we have Massachusetts passing a bill now where they can rip your child out of your hands and shoot them full of boosters and bioweapons without your consent. And if you say anything about it, you'll go to jail, have your children taken away from you. And so it's just getting bad. Now we've also got the problems of banks shutting down. Now, when you put your money in a bank, you don't own that money anymore. It's not yours. It's gone. You've given it up. You don't have anything to do with that money anymore. If you have money in a bank, you don't have any money. The only money you have is what is in your pocket or your wife's purse, or girlfriend's purse, or boyfriend's purse, whatever. You don't have any money. Once you put your money in a bank, you've transferred ownership to the bank completely, and including your safe deposit box is not yours anymore. They have full control and full ownership over all of that. So now there's only about 20% of the fiat currency in circulation right now, and the rest of it's all just ones and zeros, digital, running on a digital computer somewhere. But yes, the system is pouring money in. The Federal Reserve is printing money right and left to try to keep this glass ceiling from caving in, try to keep the house of cards propped up. But um, the banks are all closing, and the banks don't have any money in them. Now, the rule is if you put $100 in a bank, they immediately get rid of $90. Okay, they only keep $10 of your money. The other 90 is gone. They loan it out, give it away, loan it to other banks, give it back to the Federal Reserve in bonds, create faulty bonds, create fake bonds. They do fractional bank. This is what fractional banking is all about. Okay, so you don't have any money in the bank. If you put $100,000 in the bank, you've only got $1,000 in there, whatever. You don't have $100,000 in the bank. And besides that, the money's not yours. It belongs to the bank. So when you go to the bank, you're having to beg for them to give you your money back. You're having to beg for a loan. So you're just loaning your money back. Did you know this, Max? Have you told your friends about this, or do they think they actually have money in the bank? Oh, I got money in the bank. I got $10,000 in the bank. You say, well, no,
Yeah,
you don't. You don't have
yeah,
any money in the bank.
you're right. That's what they say.
Well, you know, the Dodd Act took care of all of that, and some of these other laws that have been written for bailouts. And now we have bail-ins. So we had bailouts. They're going for a long time. Back in the Bernie Madoff days, we were doing all the bailouts in the '80s when we did that big crash. Now we've got bail-in law. We had a bail-in law written. See, when Obama was in there, we had a bail-in law. Bail-in law means that they could take all the pension funds and steal them and use them to bail out the bank, okay? Or just take the money and do whatever they want to with it. So people are losing their pension fund. People have lost billions, billions, and billions in pension funds. People don't realize this around the world. Africa right now is shutting their banks down. People are rioting in Africa right now. They're not ATMs are not working. But now, if you're rich, you go behind the steel doors and the steel cages and the bars. I can show you videos I've got here. The rich are going in and bringing their money out in big bags, and they're hopping into these armored cars and driving off with security. But the poor people trying to get their little $300 or 400 or 800 or $1,000 out. They can't get it. They're the guards are holding them off, and they won't let them in. And the ATMs are down. They're broken. And you put your ATM in the car, put your ATM in the machine. It just takes your card, keeps it, eats it up. So this is where we are. This is where we are. So Africa's caving. All of these other countries are caving right now. All of these other banks are shutting down. I keep telling you guys, take your money out of the bank. I don't think any of you are listening. I really don't. I don't think anybody's listening. I think I just, you're brain dead. You people are brain dead. Um, take your money out of the bank. It's not your money, but try to get that money back from the bank. Try to get it back from the bank. Number one, they don't keep money in banks anymore. There's no money in the bank. If you go to the bank, they've only got enough money to do the daily business that the algorithm told them that's coming in. That's all they have in the bank. They have nothing in the bank. So if you went to rob the bank, there wouldn't be any money in the vault. Okay. So you have to understand, your money's gone. Once you hand your money across that counter, it's gone. Bye bye. Gone. Gone. It's not at the bank. It's not yours. Okay. Now I want you all to go to the bank, get all your money out tomorrow, and I want you to bring it, put it in your pocket, stuff it under the bed, whatever, and leave $200 in there. Just leave $200 in there, or leave whatever your monthly bills are, or if you can manage with money orders, send money orders to whatever. Okay. Um, Now they're getting ready to issue a new Mastercard. Okay. Now carbon credits are coming. Okay. Carbon credits are here. Okay. So you're going to be told what to eat, what to buy, when to buy, where to go, how far you can go, what friends you can visit, what y'all can have for dinner in the backyard barbecue, and they're going to be monitoring and surveilling and profiling every piece of broccoli that comes out of your refrigerator onto your kid's plate. That's a carbon credit. Now, most people use 16 tons of carbon credit a year. Now, they're reducing that to 2 tons. Okay. So you're going to have to just stop eating meat. Okay. Max, are you there? I lost Max. I lost Max. Can you help me? Everybody's unsending messages and shit here. I don't know what's going on. Max, are you still there? Max, are you still there? Can we get Max back on the show somehow? What else should I do? Hang up and call him back? Well, I'd like to get the show. Maybe not. The show may have caved in. We're talking about the CBDC. Call him back, please. I'd like to get Max back on and see if we're still live here. Ladies and gentlemen, they definitely do not want us talking about these issues at all, and they're going to try to shut us down. And we're going to talk about this censorship a little bit tonight. It's kind of crazy. And they're going to try to split Max and I up. They don't want Mac and I to be together. You there? Max, you there?
Yeah, somebody had an incoming call. Somebody had called and it cut the phone off.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the dark, deep state cutting us off
No,
there. They
thank
didn't want
goodness.
us to talk. They do that all the time. They're going to start doing it a whole lot more. We don't have very much time to live here. I mean, they're going to start. This is like communist China coming around the corner as far as censorship is concerned. Um, oh man, so where were we? Carbon credits. Uh, Carbon credits are coming. Your Mastercard for carbon credits. Mastercard's taking over the carbon credit program, and you're going to be allotted so many carbon credits per year. And if you go over 2 tons, and I don't know if that'll be a whole family or an individual, I'm not sure yet, but I do know that they're going to control what you buy at the store, how much you buy at the store, and if you're a bad little boy or girl, they're going to cut off your funds, your digital funds, and you're not going to be able to do anything. You may just starve to death, and I mean that literally. You may just starve. Your whole family may starve. You may not be able to pay your rent. They're going to punish you if you go against the carbon tax rule, the carbon credit rule. They're going to punish you. So they're going to tell you what to eat and how much to eat and when to eat. And they're going to tell you where to go, where to drive, where to work, how to work, when to go, when to come, who to visit. They're going to tell you how many miles you can drive, and they're going to be controlling and surveilling and profiling every single thing you do, every single thing you buy, every single action you take. Now, Max, what do you think about this carbon credit tax coming?
It's going to be hell on hardships on people who do not, on people like us who speak their mind and be free and try to open up the minds. They are going to try to shut us down and penalize us to make sure that type of shit stops. So we got to be real careful. That shit's
Well,
scary.
I don't know exactly which route we're taking yet, but we are going to circumvent this situation somehow. I just haven't exactly figured out all the details yet, but we're going to have to circumvent probably by going to pirate radio at some point in time. Now, I'm not saying that's coming in the near future. I'm not saying that's coming right away, but I am saying it's coming in the near future. All of us producers, I belong to the Geraldo Rivera investigative reporting group that's been around for years and years, and we're all talking about this in our meetings, how we're going to circumvent this communist plot to take over our free speech completely and shut us all down, shut the narrative down completely. I will probably have to go to pirate radio, which is setting up your own little coil, your own little copper coil, and your own little wind up machine there on the hill and cranking it up and going out on pirate radio. The problem with pirate radio is it's connected to the FM dial. It's not a very long distance signal. So you're only reaching people in your local neighborhood. So that kind of pee-pees that idea, poo-poos that idea. But there's going to be other ways that we can circumvent. I just don't know exactly what we're going to have to do yet to do it. But I do know that we need to start planning now to do that, not wait till the last minute and just be shut down.
Yeah.
So the carbon credit thing, you're right. It's going to really hurt a lot of people. It's going to really freak a lot of people out. Nobody's ready for it. Mastercard's already geared up for it. Their algorithms already set in stone. Their cards are already printed, and they're already ready to go full swing with this. Uh, the computer data is already there. I mean, the carbon footprint of broccoli, carrots, corn, beans, rice. It's already there. It's already on the computer. It's already on the database. And so you'll be having to add all of this shit up. And if you've never been good at balancing your checkbook, then you better learn because you're going to have to start balancing your carbon credits. You're going to have to start saying, now, honey, we're over our credits this week. We're going to be cut off from we can't buy a ribeye this month. We're only allowed one ribeye a month, and then we've already done our deal. I mean, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be literally insane. We can't go visit your mother because we have to get a permit, and we can't afford the permit to go beyond 20 minutes out of town. So we can't visit your mother without getting a permit. We can't afford the permit because they've locked our bank account down. So it's going to be a real crazy deal, and people think we're nuts talking like this, but it's here. It's here. It's here.
Yes, it is.
And
It
you know,
definitely is.
and it's just total insanity. But it's a game. It's a game, and everybody, including you, Max, slip up sometimes, and you're still talking in a physical, material form and saying that presidents are elected. You got to remember, this is a game. We're just apparitions. We're just avatars. We don't exist. We don't exist. There is no reality. Reality does not exist. There is no reality. There's no contained reality. This is all an illusion that you're living in. This is just an illusion. And you're just an avatar. And you do have tools in the toolbox, just like the avatars in the games that you play on the computer. You do have tools in the toolbox. You are able to gain points here and there. But you have to know the rules of the game to be able to play the game. And if you don't know the rules of the game, you're going to lose the game. You're going to be at the bottom of the scoring chart. And if you people out there don't learn this, well, I'm sorry, you're retarded, or you're stupid, or you're dumb, or you're ignorant, or you're just, I don't know, stubborn as a mule. I don't know. You're just avatars. You're apparitions floating around in empty space somewhere. And until you guys realize this, and I was talking about waking up. So many of these people say, I'm waking up. I'm waking up. I woke up. I woke up. You haven't woke up to shit. You haven't woke up to shit. You have no idea what you're even talking about. I mean, you know, speak the human language as much as I have to here on air. But when I'm with Mary, I speak a different language completely. Because the language I speak to Mary, you all would not comprehend or understand at all. It would be like me speaking German or French or Mandarin. You wouldn't understand what I was talking about. And besides that, if I told you the absolute truth, it would drive all of you crazy, and you'd be drowning yourself in the bathtub tonight with a blow dryer. So I have to be careful. I don't want you guys to go around out killing yourselves like people are already doing. Suicide rate's already up a zillion percent here in the United States. People are leaving. They're leaving the game, right and left. They don't want to be here anymore. Especially our senior citizens who have woke up. They don't want to be here anymore. And this happens to people who reach that nirvanic level. You know, they just decide, well, I'm not going to play this game anymore. And then what'll drive you insane is you're thinking about, oh, Buddhism. You're thinking about, well, what if I'm reincarnated back into this shit? Or what if the other world program is real, paradigm? What if the doppelganger thing is real? And what if they put me back in the game in a different position this time? Well, that'll drive you insane. That's like hell in the brain. Hell of the brain. I mean, Max, isn't that kind of driving? Wouldn't that drive anybody fucking insane to know that they couldn't just die and get the hell out of here forever? Just get the hell out of here and not
Yeah,
keep coming back, 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 coming back for the next trillion years?
that'll be that. That's crazy. There's no way in hell I want to do that. That sounds hellish.
No, I don't either. I just want to be dead. I mean, oh my God, it's so peaceful. I go by the graveyard now and I just look out there and Marion says, oh, I know what you're thinking. And I go, yeah, I'm thinking how peaceful it is for those folks out there just laying there. Oh my God, they're gone. They're just erased. They're gone. They don't exist. They're out of the game. And I don't know, I hope they're not playing some other game on some other court somewhere. I just I hope they weren't snatched up and recomposed, reanimated somewhere. I don't want to be reanimated anywhere at all. Period. I don't like the idea of reanimation. I don't like the idea of reincarnation. I don't like to hear people even talk about it. And it scares me when they have these children on video talking about the Civil War, and they're only 9 years old, and they're born in 2022, and they're talking about they're giving their parents details of the Civil War, and rattling off all of these things directly from the encyclopedia, and they're only 9 years old, and they're saying, well, I was a general and I was this and I was that, and we fought the battle of so and so and went over the hill of so and so into the valley of so and so, and I was married to so and I had grandchildren and their parents are like, what the hell are you talking about? So what is that all about, Max? Is that, is that,
Yeah,
oh
that's
my
crazy.
God.
I ain't never heard that.
Oh yeah. All over the world. All over the world. Yeah. 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 Kids are Yeah, kids are talking to their parents at 5 and 6 years old about being in the Civil War and showing them pictures, and they'll point out pictures and they'll give them the name of the person and what kind of horse they had, where they bought the horse, what stable they were at. And this is some scary shit, Max.
Oh yeah, they're coming back.
You know? Did
That's
you see
that's
that?
that's,
Did you see that
that's
baby
weird.
I put on your page holding his head up like some alien at
Yeah,
two
yeah.
two
No, he
hours
most
old?
definitely 2
Two
hours. Yeah,
hours
he most
old?
definitely. Yeah, he been here before. There's no way you can say he wasn't. He
I'm
was very much eyes open, looking around, head all the way up. Yeah, he was most definitely advanced.
Something's up. It's scary as shit when I looked at that little turd. It scared the hell out of me. It run chills up my spine. I was like, what is this thing? What is this
Made,
thing?
made me wonder if they got the shot or not. If that was I was like, damn, did they get the shot? And then now look at the baby. Like, wow, that's
Yeah, it
crazy.
could have been the shot. I hope it was just a shot and not some reanimation thing or reincarnation thing, or the child's been here a million times before. But um yeah, when I die, I just want to be dead. I've said that on the air at least 1,000 times over the last 19 years. I mean, when I go, I want to be gone, baby, gone. When they say clinically biologically dead, I want to be clinically biologically dead. And I mean dead. you know, the neurologists are arguing now about what is death. We don't know what it is. We can't define it anymore. Okay, they're saying now that it takes 4 to 5, 6 hours to die. That they roll your ass in the morgue, put you in the freezer, you're still alive. But they've done their protocol. And as far as what we know about neurology, and as far as what we know about the cerebral cortex, and as far as what we know about running a protocol for a cardiac arrest, and pushing the sodium bicarb and the atropine for the different arrhythmias and so forth, and supraventricular tachycardia, and shocking you with 400 watt seconds back to a normal sinus rhythm from VFib or supraventricular tachycardia or some kind of other bradycardia or some other kind of arrhythmia or ectopic foci. We get you back, and then bang, you start flatlining on us. You're dead. So the doctor comes in and goes, well, just go ahead and clock it. Just go ahead and call it at 2 a.m. in the morning. Clock it. He's dead. So they put the sheet over you, right? Well, now they're saying the person's not dead, but they're not talking about it in public. The person's still alive. It's going to take them another, they could be 3, 4, 5, 6 hours to die. They're not even sure of that anymore. Does that scare you?
That's just yeah. That's like, man, how long before they get you to the morgue and how long before they put you in the freezer?
Well, it just scares the living shit out of me, to tell you the truth. It just scares the living shit out of me, and it always has. Um, I've worked at the funeral home, and I've sat in there and stared at those bodies and wondered what the hell's going on here. I've just sat in there. I used to sit by myself, and I'd close the funeral home down at night. I'd be the guy that lived up in the apartment there. This is why I drink so much whiskey, right? Um, I'd be up in the apartment. I'd have to go down and close all the caskets after everybody left at night. I'd have to go down and close all the caskets and clean up all the blood and shit. And somebody shit on themselves, I'd have to clean them up, put a new suit on them and shit with the embalmer the next morning, strip them naked because you're laying there in your casket and you just shit all over yourself. And so you have to clean them up, and then you got blood running out of your nose and shit. So I had to go in there, stuff cotton up in their brain, and shit coming out of their ears and oozing out of their mouth. Have to super glue their lips together, super glue their eyelids together, and all this other crazy shit, right? And so I'm like, this is crazy. I used to sit in the room with these bodies at night with the light still on the casket, and I would just look at them and stare at them. And if you stare at a body long enough under the right lighting conditions, their chest starts to move up and down, and you're like, oh my God, this is weird. And then you run over there and close the casket, lock that son of a bitch, and turn the lights out, and haul ass to your fucking room, lock the door. And I used to just trip out. I used to go to this black funeral home over in Oak Cliff. I used to hang out over there a lot with the black embalmers, and every now and then we'd go down and bid for bodies. The poor people. They didn't have any family. They were laying around in the morgue for a long time, and so we'd go down there and bid for the body. $50, $50, 75, 75, 75, 150, 150, 150. So we get the body and take it to this black funeral home, right? Well, that used to scare the shit out of me. I mean, if you see these black people, man, they embalm the shit out of these black people. They use petrobomb. They don't use embalming fluid, formaldehyde. They use petrobomb on these people. They embalm black folks as hard as a two, but they're as hard as a two by four. If you've ever hit a two by four with your fist, I mean, they embalm the shit out of these people. These black embalmers, I don't know what it is about these guys, but they have their own technique, you know. And they used to scare the shit out of me, having to go over there by myself and drop a body off at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. That old black embalmer be coming in there. What are you up to? What's going on, Kiler? You got me a body. Bring him on in the embalming room. Drop him on the table over there. Yeah, I'll get started on him in the morning. I'm like, oh, let me get out of here. Let me get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I know you was.
He might be trying to embalm me if I don't get out of here. you know, and then, but we didn't, we didn't come to talk about all this shit tonight. But uh, banks, ladies and gentlemen, please, 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 please listen to what we're telling you tonight. Get your money out of the bank. They're refusing to give people their money now without a big fight. Max is off again. Max, are you off again? Max is going to have to do something about his people calling, um, breaking in on Skype or whatever. Brandon is unavailable. Brandon is unavailable. Well, how in the hell is he supposed to be on the radio if he's unavailable? What is going on, man?
That was your buddy Don.
Don who? Don who? Don Green? Max, are you there? Can you get Don in here? Was that Don Green?
One of those, but the other one was somebody else. Some type of spam, likely.
Well, Don can come in, but Marion will have to get him in. Is he on our board? Was that? Does Don want in?
I don't know. I didn't talk to him.
Well, Marion's checking to see if he wants in. Go to Facebook and see if he wants in. See if he's on his PM. Um, but yeah, the carbon credit thing is insane. The hacking is insane. The hacking is the media, of course, is blacking all of this out. Of course, the media is owned and operated by the Central Intelligence Agency, ladies and gentlemen. My God, I've told you this 1,000 times. You won't listen to me. You're listening. When you're listening to the mainstream media, you're just being brainwashed. You're being hoodwinked. You're being scammed and jammed and rammed and raped, extorted. And I can't get this through to y'all. You're just like, oh, I was listening to the news tonight, and MSNBC said so and so, and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you people? Are you all crazy? What's wrong with people? And if you want to hear news, go out to the alternative news where Max and I hang out, and find some good people that you trust, like the Ice Age Farmer, and like Tucker Carlson, and the Canadian Prepper, and folks like that. that you can trust. But no, you guys, I don't know what's wrong with you guys and girls. You like to hang out with the CIA. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you people. Black people too. They like to hang out with the goddamn enemy. What's wrong with people, Max?
I don't know. I don't know. They love that. They love Fox too. They love that shit. I mean, it's all just a part of that big old programming. You know, they love that shit though. They love it. They eat it up. It's like entertainment.
Well, I'm getting to the point in my life now where you and I and Mary have this little thing going on, and the top secret is with your other half and Mary and me, and that's pretty much it. And we're doing our thing, and all of these people that have jumped ship on us and made fun of us and dogged us out and damned us down, well, guess what? They ain't here, and guess what? They lost. They lost, right?
Yes, most definitely. If they didn't want to, pound the rice, then I guess they didn't want to get in the doors.
Well, yeah, they didn't want to pound the rice. They don't want to pound the rice. They want everything to come right now, right now, right now, right now. You know, it's like they want to have their cake and eat it too, and they want you to serve it up to them on a platter in a big silver silky bed and with a big fluffy pillow behind their back. And they don't want to have to work for it. They don't want to have to sacrifice for it. They don't want to have to educate themselves for it. They don't want to have to research for it. They don't want to have to put the time and the energy in to do it. And so they just going to stay on welfare, and they're going to keep $400 or $500 in the bank and be broke every month and keep wondering how the hell they're going to pay their electric bill. And that's fine with me. I don't give a shit anymore. Now I know that sounds harsh, and you're probably going to say, "What's the matter with you, Kyler?" But I told you today I'm fed up with people. I'm fed up with people trying to babysit people. Why should I go out and try to drag people around, drag people into my way of thinking and my way of doing and my this and my that? Why should you go out and try to tell people, "Oh, come on in here, man. We got this big secret and we got this stuff going on and we got all this stuff." Why? Why should we do that?
Um, to be honest, we should always give a chance for people to. Oh, we don't have to, but being noble people, for lack of better words, but you know, give people a chance. And if they don't want to drink the water, then I mean, we gotta go. We can't sit around here all day and like you said, babysit people. That's not what we're here for.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. If they come in and they got a good attitude like you do, and they got a good attitude, I don't have a good attitude, so I won't add me into that. But you got a good attitude, and if you say, "Now, Kyler, we need to let this person in. I found this person. I like this person, and I've talked to this person. I've drank a beer with this person. I've went out with this person. They've been over to my house. They've been in my studio, and they're just somebody who really needs to come in with us because I know they're going to work. I know they're going to work out. Well, that's fine. Bring them on in. Bring them on in. We'll take them. I'll open the gate wide. But I just don't think you're going to find that person. Oh, here's Stephen. Well, hell, hello, Stephen. Well, let me say hello to Stephen. Well, that's weird. My brother, my long lost brother. Um, we got people coming into chat here. Um, that's hard to do. Oh my God, that's really hard to get into chat here. This is a VIP chat, very hard to get into. Stephen though is a master, so he knows how to jiggle and wiggle and push all the right buttons and pull all the right levers and make everything happen. Um, so getting back to people, we worked for over, well, I'd say a year. We worked over a year when we really got into this thing, and we started figuring out, hey, there's something wrong here. Something is not right. There They're keeping people down. This is a planned poverty program. They're they're blocking people from wealth. They're blocking people from earning an income. They're blocking people from understanding certain secrets and certain things and certain techniques to be able to bring cash in, in the truckloads, you know. Now the wealthy and these wealthy people on YouTube that have 1.6 million views, like I looked at Nate a while ago and looked at his wife. Um, they're 1.4 million, 2.4 million views, 7,000 people talking and polling and blah 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 blah. Well, we're opening that gate. See now, we're opening that gate. We're just to the point now. We're opening that gate after 19 years. We're opening that gate. It
Yeah.
took Nate, 15 years. It took some people this 5 years. Um, we're just now opening that gate, and it's scary. It's really, really scary because it's so damn hard work. And it's 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, grinding, 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 research, 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 research. You know, and let me tell you, people, it ain't easy. It ain't easy. Okay, it ain't easy. These people are not giving out free tickets to the Millionaire Club. Okay, and had a talk with Max today. We're not giving out free tickets to the Millionaire Club, and I agree with Pastor Don. Pay me, pay me. I mean, I am sick and tired of all these freeloaders. I'm sick and tired of people coming in not understanding what we're trying to talk about. I'm tired of people coming in wanting to take advantage of the situation. I'm tired of people coming in and they want a free lunch, as Pastor Don always says. They want a free lunch. They want you to serve up lunch and serve up dinner, and hell, let them spend the night. And they don't want to even sweep the kitchen floor or clean up the dishes. And I'm sick of all that shit. I'm not going to put up with it anymore. Uh, but uh, Max, like you said, we're honorable avatars. We're honorable avatars. So we will allow people to come in. And as I said, eventually I would like to see low income mothers grab a little bit of our uh, work and secrets and things that we know and give them a portion of that and let them earn an extra $1,000 a month.
Yes.
You know, um, that's a noble mission. That's a noble thing to do. I don't see anything wrong with that. So, Stephen, tell me how you've been doing. You can tell me in chat. I don't think I can get you in. I could Skype you, I guess. That might work. I don't know. Mary can try it in a minute. But let me know how you're doing over there, Stephen. How you feeling? I know your health's not been that good. Um, but Massachusetts, what do you think about this new bill, Massachusetts, where they could just rip your children? You go to the emergency room with your child, and they just rip them out of your arms and put two officers on you and throw you in the corner, and they shoot your kid up with all this poison, and if you don't like it, you could just lump it, go to jail. What do you think about that? It's coming.
That's another page in the book of bullshit. You know, they already do stuff like that to black women. You know what I mean, and fathers. It happened to my son and his girlfriend when on their second child. The nurse was trying to say that he wasn't the father, and acted like she was the mother and tried to keep the baby. Like, it was weird. So, my son acted a fool in the hospital, and they sent the police in, and took the baby from him, and acted like he was a threat to the child, but he was really a threat to the nurse and the doctors that was playing with his girl and his baby. So, you're not lying about that, and now they're putting it in law. That makes it even worse.
Well, they tried to put me in jail when my daughter was in Parkland Hospital for a year to almost 2 years with ileoatresia. She was born with ileoatresia, missing part of her bowel, and it was a very rare, rare case, and the doctors wanted to study her, and I allowed them to study her. I had to sign a lot of papers, but I wanted them to sign. I wanted them to study this disease so other children could benefit from the findings, from their findings. So we allowed them to keep her a little longer and do some experimentation and some other things. And my doctor bill was $340,000. And when I got ready to take her home and decided it was time to just take her home, it was getting a little weird. They wouldn't let her go. They weren't going to let her go. They decided that they had taken possession of her and that they were in charge now. So they called the police in on me and tried to have me arrested. And it was a big debacle, big mess, just a big mess. I was going ape shit in the hospital there at Parkland. And they didn't arrest me. And we finally got her home. But it was a mess. It was a mess. And my doctor bill's $340,000. Um, so it was just a nightmare, just a complete nightmare that I don't want to see any parents have to go through ever, ever. So and a lot of parents are going through this right now. I don't know why I'm sitting here like an idiot saying I don't want them to go. They're going through it right now, and it's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing, and I'm trying to get my chat to work here and see what's going on. But anyway, what else is in the news? Let's look and see here what's going on. Um, I was going to say that everyone had turned to nihilism. People are turning to nihilism now. Do you know what nihilism is? Have you heard about that, Max?
I looked up a little bit. I'm not in depth in knowledge of it, but I know it's part of Nietzsche's um, theory and thought process of how things aren't working in the
It
collective of
basically
culture.
it it basically it's a philosophy that rejects generally accepted or fundamental aspects of human existence, like you and I talk about here. I'm not sure you're fully even on board with that yet, but it's like what I talk about here, what I teach every night. I reject the general accepted fundamental aspect of human existence, such as objective truth. I don't believe in objective truth. I don't believe in knowledge. I don't believe in morality. I don't believe in values. I don't believe in meaning. It doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Look at Turgenev studies, and more specifically by the character of Berezov and the novel Fathers and Sons. Um, there have been so many nihilist positions throughout the ages, including that of human values are baseless. All human values are baseless. Now I want you to listen to this, Max. I want everybody out there to listen to this. If you're in a game, if you're an avatar in a game, if you're an apparition, if you're not a physical material being, how could human values exist? They also, nihilists, believe that life is meaningless, completely meaningless, and that knowledge is impossible. Knowledge is impossible because we have nothing to base it on. We have no standard to base knowledge on. It's a fiction. It's all a fiction. It's all been composed with the composition of particulate matter out of the ether. Um, or that some set of entities do not exist or are meaningless or pointless. Scholars of nihilism may regard it as merely a label that has been applied to various separate philosophies, which it has, or a distinct historical concept arising out of normalism. or nominalism. I'm sorry, nominalism, which is nominalizing things. Skepticism, which it's very skeptical. Nihilism is a very skeptical philosophy, and philosophical pessimism, being very pessimistic as well, being very pessimistic, as well as possibly out of Christianity itself. Contemporary understanding of the idea stems largely from the Nietzschean crisis of nihilism, from which derive the two central concepts: the destruction of higher values and the opposition to the affirmation of life. So that's all I have to say. I mean, the social institutions are a fiction, government is a fiction, authority is a fiction, um, education is a fiction. We have existential nihilism. We have intrinsic value. Meaning is nihilistic. Political institutions are a fiction. We have moral nihilism because morality is a fiction. It's a subjective fiction. Epistemological nihilism is a nihilistic view of epistemology, which is scientific fact, which changes every other day when you change your underwear. And a number of metaphysical positions are also completely meaningless, and which assert that non abstract objects do not exist. Metaphysical nihilism postulates that composite objects do not exist. Um, and meteorological nihilism, or even life itself, does not exist. Now, this comes from thousands and thousands of years of secret documents and secret societies and secret reports and oral translations that have been written down at some point on papyrus as we come into the age of papyrus. Um, so, when we first got together, Max, we were talking about these things, and we were talking about developing a new lexicon to discuss the avatars in the game, to discuss the apparitional aspects of this whole thing, to discuss the compositional particulates that come together to form the illusion of material physical existence, or the human body, or anatomy and physiology, or the central nervous system, or cosmological constants, or astrophysical constants, universal constants, solar system, sun, moon, stars, planets, black holes, etc., etc., etc. Meaningless, totally meaningless, totally meaningless. Uh, so tell me how hard all of that is to swallow. Of course, you're going to tell me because I know you haven't swallowed it, because I know you haven't studied like I have, and you haven't meditated 22 years like I have. So how hard is
Nope.
all of this to swallow?
It's very hard. It's very hard. I mean, if anybody comes in saying, "Oh, I got it," they're a damn lie. "Oh, I get it," off the first spin, they're a lie.
Yeah.
And that's just probably their ego talking. But after a while of, constantly going over the process of, understanding, then, you'll be able to grasp a hold of the a drop of it. But, as you take it further within the months, the days, the years, the weeks, the hours, putting in the work, then you'll start to really be able to, control it, or should I say, steer yourself in the right direction.
Well, they need to go. They need to be referred to Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism. They need to be referred to Priestess of Buddhism. They need to be referred to Nirvana, nihilism, Jacobi, Kierkegaard, Russian nihilism, Nietzsche. They need to be regarded or directed to Heideggerian interpretation of Nietzsche, or the delusion interpretation of Nietzsche, or postmodernism, or Derrida, or Lyotard, or Baudrillard. And we could go on and on and on into nothingness, nihility of nothingness, the German form of Nelemissus or Mismus. We could go into the Middle Ages, all the way back to the Middle Ages, to heresy. German philosophy talks about it. French nihilism, Frederick Lembrecht Goethe used it as a literary term in combination with Noism, German, which is a form of Gnosticism in the period surrounding the French Revolution. This goes back to the pejorative for certain value destructive trends of modernity. Nihilism first entered philosophical study within the discourse surrounding Kantian and post Kantian philosophies, notably appearing in the writings of Swiss esotericist Jacob Hermann Oberet in 1787, the German philosopher Friedrich Heinrich Jacobi in 1799, as early as 1824. So this is not some new idea that just popped up out of somebody's ass. Uh, there are thousands and thousands of pages written on this. We could go into Gailis Deleuze, we could go into Fourier Destaviv, we could go into Gordius, we could go into Hygius, we could go into Seren, we could go into Marty Heidegger, we could go into Frederick Jacobi and Ernest Junger, and we could go into Søren Kierkegaard, Philip Manlander, we could go into Friedrich Nietzsche, we can go into Kinish Nistista, we can go into Sephirim Rose, we can go into Jean Paul Sartre, Oswald Spindor, Max Steiner, Leo Strauss, Hamlet, Dierko, John Wassi, Ivan Taguvov. We could go into absurdism, anarchism, anti foundationalism, anti natalism. We could go into anti annihilism. We could go into atheism. We go into egoism, Gnosticism, existentialism, and on and on and on and on and on into the philosophy of pessimism and then logic and reason and all of that. And people have to have all those years of experience in reading and contemplating and pondering and studying in order to even get to first base on this shit.
Yes, true that. True that. Without the knowledge of Sophia or the great sophistication of wisdom, or learning about those type of things, or like you said, those books plus the Manly P. Halls plus the Albert Pikes plus the Madame Levinsky's, you really got to get deep off in there and then really sit down and contemplate and what the fuck is going on, and then you'll come to the understanding. Yeah, I get it.
But you know that there's only a thimble full of people that are going to do that. Just
Yeah,
a
yeah,
thimble.
no,
Just a
yeah,
thimble
those are
full.
those are the people I want to mess with. Just the thimble. Just
Well,
if it's going to be a thimble, those are the people I want to connect with.
yeah,
Where you at?
yeah. We've been searching for intelligent life, and we haven't been able to find any. We found you, and it's really scary that true awareness and true passion for knowledge in this machine, in this esoteric machine, in this ontological machine, in this matrix is so difficult to find. So difficult to find. It's almost impossible to find anyone with any degree at all of cerebral power going on into any higher levels of consciousness or awareness. Most people are in the basement, as you and I metaphorically talked about the basement the other day, going to the first floor. Most people haven't made it out of the basement. They're still in the basement. Most everybody you meet, 97% of 98% of the people you meet are in the basement. They're living in the basement. And very few people will ever make it to the fifth floor or the 10th floor. And very, very, very few will ever make it to the penthouse. And you wonder why. The question comes up: why, 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 Max? Why? I mean, this should be easy. This should be a no-brainer. People listen to this show, they should say, "Oh my God, I didn't know this was possible. Oh my God, I didn't know these things existed. Oh my God, I didn't know these books were there. Oh my God, I need to read. I need to study. I need to ponder. I need to research. Oh my God, this is interesting. I always thought there was something wrong with this whole place. Now you all are starting to open some doors. I want in. I want in. I want in. I want in. Bang, 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 bang."
Yeah, Most definitely, that's what they need to be doing. But it's like you said, it's going to be the chosen few that's going to do. The chosen few is going to do, and then the rest is going to sit back and complain, gripe, mope, fall in line. Do all those things that the system is set up for them to do. Like you said, those players in the game that you pass by or you pull out the car and throw on the floor and drive off. In their cars, so you can go to your hideout. They're I mean, and I'm not saying physically do that or anything, but I'm just saying those are the type of people that are, living amongst us. Like, I mean, I know they may take effect, to us calling them zombies or brain dead or anything like that, but it's just an analogy for what is taking place when you look at what you're doing. I mean, when you wake up every day, 5 days a week, doing the same thing over and over again, and then you don't catch that as being weird or strange, and you're still doing it, you're not
Look,
really paying attention.
there's 650 plus thousand producers out there calling them brain dead and clueless air breathers. Okay, so don't feel bad. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and I get it, but still, you know how people take it when they tune in and they listen. They always want to criticize, acting as if we're some type of mean people for being honest. But the truth hurts. That's all it is.
Well, I would like to say something very strongly to that statement. Fuck them. I mean, look, this is a tough game, man. This is a tough game. We are at war, my friend. We are at war. We are getting ready to be totally fucking annihilated, totally fucking exterminated. Your goddamn children are getting ready to be killed, molested, raped, maimed, taken. You're getting ready to be locked down like a fucking pig. Any motherfucker that would even call in here or talk to you or me and say, "Oh, you're rude, you're this, you're that." Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm not going to be nice to people. I'm not going to hold your fucking hand. I'm not going to pablum puke you over my left shoulder. I'm not going to rub your tutu and fix your boo boo. Okay? Uh, if you can't take the fucking heat, get out of the fucking oven. And if you have wasted 40 years of your fucking life doing nothing and pissing your fucking life away, then it's your fucking fault. I mean, look, dude, I've been through the same shit that everybody else has. I grew up eating the same shit fucking sandwiches that everybody else here did. And I had to claw my way to the fucking top of the intellectual ladder. I had to claw my way into school. I had to claw my way into paramedic school. I had to claw my way into the university. I had to claw my way into my classes. I had to claw my way to be the top 10 in all of my classes and graduate at the top of my class 3 different times. I had to claw my fucking way to the top. And that's what it takes. I expect every other fucking person here listening to understand that this is not going to be handed to you on a silver fucking platter. This kind of information does not come easy. And you mentioned pounding the rice. Well, you've got to pound a lot of fucking rice. But you know what? Most of these people have never even begun to pound the rice. Because when you're pounding the rice, you're waiting to get in with a master teacher. You're waiting to get in with a Zen master. You're waiting to just get in the door. You may have to stand out there in the rain for a year pounding the rice for the other monks. It may take a year. It may take 2 years. It may take 3 years to just get in the fucking door out of the rain to learn what I've learned over the last 25 years. You understand that?
Yeah, nothing comes overnight. There's nothing that we get that we understand to that point that we get overnight. So yeah, I understand.
I mean, I was, talking from a military standpoint. when you go in the service, the first thing they do is tear your fucking ass apart. They tear your fucking ass apart and they put that son of a bitch back together like they want to. They tear you down. I mean, they take you away from your mama's titty. They let you know real quick that your mama's titty ain't here, your mama's little womb ain't here, your mama's little breast, little chest ain't here, and I'm not your fucking mama, I'm not your fucking daddy, and I'm not your fucking babysitter. I am your company commander. I am your CC. I am your drill instructor, your DI, motherfucker. And you're going to do it my way or the highway, or shit is going to hit the fan and you're not going to like it. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. That explains it exactly to the T.
And we live in this country with a bunch of spoiled, clueless, lazy brats who think the world owe them a fucking living. And we live in a country where most people have never been to war. They have never experienced famine. They have never experienced drought. They have never experienced starvation. They have never experienced extreme, extreme torture, pain, and suffering. They're a bunch of goddamn lazy mama's babies, still sucking on the sugar tit. And that's the problem with America, my friend. That's the problem with the United States Incorporated, my friend. We need to raise a nation of warriors. It is time for people to shit or get off the pot because, it's too late. I talked to two scholars today who have agreed with me it's too late. It is too late. We have done too little, too late, and now we will suffer the consequences, and they are deadly and dangerous and dire and diabolical. The thing that we can do now is just tell people how best to tuck their head between their knees and kiss their fucking ass goodbye when the fucking plane hits the ground at 40,000 feet, 700 miles an hour. What do you think about that?
I think then they'll want to listen. I think that'll wake them up then. Then they'll be like, oh, you were right. How do we tune into the channel? How do we tune into your show? We need the information to know about the next one. We got to stay prepared. Now we got to stay prepared.
Well, I will admit, and I don't know what you're going to say to this and tell me your stats, but I've got white folks and a few black folks listening right now who have said just what you just said. They're on my Facebook page and they're on my Instagram and they're on my LinkedIn and they're coming from everywhere out of the fucking woodwork. Uh, I bet you don't have that going on.
Nope, not at all.
But you and I have a different approach in our way of dealing with people. You and I come from different cultures, different traditions, different backgrounds, similar backgrounds, but different. And I'm a complete fucking asshole, and you're not. You might have been at one time, but you're not now. At least not on the air with me. You might be I don't know what you are when you get off the air, but I know you're not on the air with me. You're not. And I am a complete fucking in your face fucking asshole. I will bite your fucking nose off and stuff it up your ass before it starts bleeding. But I am a very loving, kind, compassionate person at the same time. Very caring, very loving, I mean, Miriam will tell you that the homeless people I fed today, you can't even touch it. You can't even touch it. and the boo boos that I fixed and the band aids that I put on today, I was surrounded by homeless people today, and I made them all feel like kings and queens. Okay,
Yeah, that's beautiful right there.
I made them all feel like kings and queens that they are, and it's just the way you approach people. You know, at first I sent Marion over to approach, and she no, I can't go over there. No, I can't go over there. No, I can't go over there. I said, get your fucking ass in gear and march your fucking ass over there now. And she went right into the middle and she started talking. And they rejected her at first. She had food. And they rejected, one of the guys rejected her. And then I walked up. My big old 6'4", 280-pound ass walked up. And he looked at me and said, "Oh, sir, how are you?" I said, "You're talking to my lady there." He said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Why are y'all here? Are you the police?" And I said, "No, we're not the police." I said, "We've got police written on our badges, but we're the first response team for this county, and we work with folks that are homeless, and we also have a radio show, and we really care about your existence out here. We care about what's going on with you, your suffering, your pain, your confusion, you're sick, you're whatever. We love you. We're concerned about you, you know." And then they all just started hovering around me like I was Jesus, you know. And then they all started talking about all their problems and about all the problems in the county and about all the problems at the missions and about all the problems with the feeding programs and all the problems with the pastors and all the problems with the bullshit and all the problems with the politicians and all the promises that have been broken for the last 20 years here about homeless people, fixing the homeless problem, fixing the homeless problem, fixing the homeless problem. Every year for 20 years they've been saying that here. And it's just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse every year. And that's what Marion and I deal with every fucking day, Max. We go out and try to shine a little light on this horrible, horrible situation, impossible situation that exists with this homeless bunch. I mean, let me tell you something. There was a guy sitting in the washiteria, and I went in there to get a drink. I knew the lady that owned the place. And there was a guy sitting in there, and I noticed everybody running out the front door. And I thought, what the fuck is going on? Has somebody put a bomb threat or something in here? I walked in there, and there was a guy sitting over in the corner in the floor by the dryer, and he had his shoes off, and he was picking his feet. And there was scabs bleeding all over the floor from his scabs. He was picking his feet, and he was scratching and itching his feet, and they were red as a beet. And the smell was worse than any decomp body I've ever picked up in my entire fucking life working with the homicide team. You could smell those fucking feet for 4 blocks. Those were some of the smelliest fuck. This was the smelliest fucking guy that I'd ever fucking been around in my entire life. And I went and sit right down beside him and put my arm around him. And he jerked away from me. He said, "Who are you?" I said, "Man, I'm just a friend, dude. I'm just a friend. I'm just a friend. I know what you're going through. I really do, because I've been there." And he warmed up to me, and he shut the whole fucking place down. He shut the whole fucking washeteria down. I stayed in there with him for about 20 minutes, and then I got his socks and shoes back on him and took him outside, and I talked to him. I gave him some money, and I sent him to a doctor friend of mine who runs a safe house. Nobody would take him. Nobody would take him. No hospital, no emergency room. Nobody touch him. I sent him to one of our doctors that used to take care of. Well, you know what they do. The mafia, the gangsters. You know where they go to get their bullets taken out, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So anyway, I sent him over there, and I had people coming around me going, what are you doing, man? Why are you messing with that guy? What's wrong with you? You're gonna catch something. You're gonna catch some disease, or you probably got some disease now, man. You're gonna die. Are you vaccinated? Are you this? Are you that? Man, you people are fucking crazy. Every one of you fucking crazy. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of my face. Go back to the fucking watch area. What would you have done, Max? What would you have done?
I would have asked him if he needed any help, and if he would have said yes, then yeah. If he would have said no, I probably would have just left some water by him and kept on going. Left him
Yeah,
some change and some money left some money and some water by him and kept on going, whether he wanted it or not.
yeah, yeah. People warm up to me. I've got this magic personality. I've got this magnetic thing going on. People just warm up to me immediately. They just warm up. At first, they hate me. First, they're scared of me. I'm big. I'm tall. I got a mean look on my face. But they warm up to me when they hear my voice, when they see me talk, when they hear me talk, when they see my body language change, when they see me come up. They warm up to me. And you got to have that going on to work with these people that are dysfunctional, that are psychotic, that are neurotic, that are schizophrenic, that are bipolar, that are freaked out, targeted individuals, whatever. You got to be uh, approachable. You know what I mean?
Yes, most definitely. You have to be approachable. You can't be looking like I'll kill you if you say hi to me, or if you ask me anything, I'll kill you. You can't have that look on your face. You
Right.
have to be. You can't have it in your essence or aura as well. Because it can be felt. It's like a vibration. So you got to emit the right energy and the right posture. You know.
But I went to the Chinese restaurant next door to grab a bite to eat after that incident, and I walked in there, and the white lady was a real bitch, treated me and Marion like just horrible. I said, "Do you have a buffet?" And she said, "It's down the street, that away." And I said, "What did you just say to me?" She said, "Down the street, that way. If you want a buffet, you're not going to get it here." And I said, "You're a real bitch." And she said, "What did you say to me?" And then the owner came out, Chinese lady came out, smiling on her face. "Welcome to my establishment. Welcome to my restaurant. What can we do for you?" And the other lady just went rumbling off in the back room somewhere. And the Chinese lady set us down and got our food and everything. And they had this big help wanted sign on the front door up here. And I asked her, I said, "What's the problem with your help wanted thing going on?" She said, "Nobody wants to work. I'm here by myself with this bitch." I said, "I just got through calling her a bitch." She said, "I'm here with this
Yeah.
bitch." She said, "I'm here with this bitch. And that's all I can get." She said, "Nobody wants to work. Nobody will work. They want to come to work late, get off early, talk to their boyfriend, girlfriend on the fucking phone all day, play on their phone all day. They don't want to take orders. They won't work holidays. They won't work late. They won't come in early." I said, "Well, you're not the only one, honey." I said, "We've been interviewing people all over this county, and they're all having the same exact problem as you are." And she said, "Well, I'm going to have to shut down on holidays now. I'm going to have to start taking off early. It's killing me. I'm losing my mind. I don't know what I'm going to do. I may lose my business." So, anyway, this is happening all over the Northwest. It's probably happening all over where you are. And we got a few minutes left here. Max, anything you want to talk about, Max? You really never initiate. Uh, is there anything you want to talk about?
I mean, I got a show coming up February 17th. In my group, Your Worst Nightmare. YWM, me and my brother Mr. G. We have a show going on February 17th at the Starlit Room above Harlow's in Sacramento. I got a video coming out pretty soon. I mean,
Yeah, we've been promoting that pretty heavy. I have.
yeah, thank you.
Have you gotten any response from any of the promotion from your side or our side or all of our sides, or have you noticed any response? I mean, or is it all dead like it usually is with social media?
Well, I've talked to L.A. King. I talked to Lucretia, and I talked to um, this artist named Spittles. So she's pretty dope. She's a pretty dope artist. I like it. I dig her music. I'm gonna let you hear some of it. But I'm waiting for Spittles to finish up her questions, and then give her, and then we're gonna get her on in a week or so. Give enough time to promote the show or whatnot,
Yeah,
and
and
then
like I said, I'll be a good boy, and I'll I'll let you hop in the pilot seat on those
yeah,
ones.
I'm waiting on uh, Lucretia to get back at me to tell her story so she can get her story told on the air. I really want to
Good.
get that out there. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, so those are two things that I'm working on right now. But other than that, yeah, it's been kind of dead, man. Um, people are hard to get together and take themselves serious. And if they're not taking themselves serious, I really don't even want to work with them.
Well, we're having the same problem here, but my brain's gotten numb to this whole thing. I'm just gotten numb to this whole thing. I've gotten to a point where I just don't give a shit anymore. I mean, I do about us and our plans and our visions and our dreams and what we're doing, but I don't give a shit about the outside world anymore. I'm not going to go after people like I used to. I used to cast the net out there, and I just don't. I don't have the strength for it anymore. I just don't have the strength to weed through 100 people to find one person to talk to that's got intelligence. I don't have the strength anymore. I'm not going to do it anymore at my age. I'm 66 years old, for God's sakes. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm going to put everything I've got into fulfilling my promise to you and Marion and this, us. And we're going to do what I said we're going to do. And that's what I'm going to put my time into, and the radio show and promotions for us and what we've been doing together on the social media, what we can do, and just looking for those people along the way, those diamonds in the rough along the way. And if we should happen to find one or two, so be it. If not, so be it. It's fine. I don't care. I've been too sick. I guess you were on air when I took my shots. You weren't on air when I took my shots. You were at work. I took my shots on air. I got my diabetic medicine finally. Did you know that?
Yeah,
So
yeah. You said something about it last night, but I didn't know you took your shots on there.
yeah, I did. Yeah, I stabbed myself on air. I wanted everybody to know, all the
Ouch.
diabetics that are tuned in. I wanted them to know what is going on. I wanted to share a little suffering with them. So I stuck myself twice in the belly with that damn thing. And I told you they had them triggered too tight, and they was, oh my God, it hurt like hell. I cried like a baby. Well, I didn't cry. I winched, or whatever you call it. But it wasn't any fun, I'll tell you for sure. But I'm feeling better. I'm feeling a whole lot better since I'm back on my trulicity. And the fat people, like I said, the fat people are out there stealing all of our diabetic drugs, and nobody cares. Mainstream media's took it over now, and oh, it's a big deal now. It's a big fad now. Oh, they're so happy. Everybody's so happy. They're all just like, oh, it's wonderful new fat burning drug. It's just fantastic for all you ladies, and oh my God, and oh, whatever. Fuck them. No negative press, no negative press, no negative press whatsoever, except coming out of you and me and a few others out there who thinks it's just a crime against humanity that fucking fat people would take precedence over diabetics, severe diabetics like myself. Let
You know,
them get on them.
I seen something the other yesterday. They was saying that they was doing the same thing with a heart medication, using
Yeah,
the heart medication for
yeah,
weight loss. I was like, bro, this is what? Like,
yeah.
why?
Well, money, dude, money. If they can expand the product to fit something else, I mean, uh, if you can make one product do four or five different things, there's more money, 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 money. And so it's all about the money. To hell with the people. To hell with the diabetics. They don't give a shit about us. They don't care if we drop dead tomorrow. They don't give a shit. As long as they're making $1 billion, another $1 billion, they don't give a shit if we all die. They're trying to kill us off anyway. Um, I tell you what, the Central Intelligence Agency has infiltrated more than just the news media. They've infiltrated the hospitals administrations. They've infiltrated the education systems. They've
Yeah,
infiltrated government. They've infiltrated every other three-letter agency you can think of. So it's pretty much a done deal. I mean, it's they've got it all sewed up. They've got it all sewed up. It's kind of like a gangland kind of thing, taking
yeah,
a territory over. Taking a territory over
yep,
like in old New York. Oh,
yeah,
let's take that territory. Let's take that territory. Oh, there's enough of us now. We can take that territory. We can take all this motherfucker. We can take over L.A. That's what's happening. See,
yeah,
they've just taken over the whole goddamn world. Okay, it's not just L.A. anymore or New York. It's the whole fucking world. So this is what people need to know, and this is what people need to understand, and this is what people need to try to come to grips with. And as I told Mary, death right now, death seems so sweet to me. If it wasn't for her and you and this vision and this dream and this mission, buddy, I don't think I'd be here. I don't think I'd be here because I've seen it all, heard it all, done it all, felt it all, fucked it all, and ate it all, and heard it all, and I don't care anymore about any of it. I don't like it. I don't like what's coming. I don't like what's here, and I don't want to have to go through it. And the only reason I am is because of Mary and you and this station and our vision and our dream. And like I told her, the window is closing fast. We're going to have to adapt to this reset. We're going to have to adapt to this New World Order plan and Agenda 30. And we're going to have to figure out a way to keep our dreams going and our river flowing no matter what, because there's going to be a lot of changes coming around the corner that are
yep,
going to alter the way we do business.
yes, it is.
Now, I don't think people will ever stop listening to rap music, and I don't think people will ever stop listening to talk radio, and I don't think people will ever stop buying from home. So we're safe there. And I don't think that people will ever stop buying articles from people and books from people to read. Um, Although they have sent the reading police out throughout the United States, burning all the books and taking them off the shelves. Did you know that? If they're racist
No,
or if they're anti-LGBT or if they're anti this or anything that or they don't go with the government narrative, they're stripping
no.
the libraries. Yeah, yeah, they're stripping the libraries.
Wow, I got to get up in my news.
Yeah, man, you need to get up on a lot of news if you're gonna hang around here. But you're catching on quick. You're catching on quick, 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 quick. You're a fast thinker. You're a hard worker. You're into this thing, so it's good. It just gets better every damn show. It gets better and better and better. And hey, I'm kind of I don't know. I'm a little kooky here lately. I'm going through a stage where I'm gaining more knowledge and getting more downloads. And the more downloads I get, the more fucking insane I feel. The more knowledge I gain about this matrix, the more just fucking completely insane it seems. And sometimes I told Marion, I wish I was ignorant. I wish I was one of the sheeple people. I wish I was one of the
Yeah,
passive massive.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like the eye wasn't open, so I didn't see this shit.
Yeah,
Be just as dumb.
exactly.
Yep,
Because
you're not wrong.
the more you learn about this, the crazier you become. I mean, there becomes a point where you feel like you're going to lose your fucking mind or something, and then you realize, well, there's nowhere to run. I come to the conclusion the other day. I told Marion I'd like to escape somewhere. I'd like to go talk to Max. I'd like to go to Max's house right now. I feel like crying. I'd like to go to Max's house. She said, well, you can't just run to Max's house. I said, well, I like to go to a church, a Catholic church, talk to a Catholic priest with a degree in something or somewhere. I don't want to go to a fucking hospital. They'll lock me up. I don't want to go to a psychiatrist. They'll lock me up. I don't want to go to some crazy hospital, emergency room. They'll lock me up. Where the fuck can people like us go, Max, to get it off our fucking chest except with each other?
Right. It's the only place.
I mean, aren't you scared of the establishment now?
Yeah, I've been scared of them.
Me too.
No, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Been scared of them.
Me too. Me too. And I'm a badass son of a bitch, and I'm scared to death. Those son of a bitches are like hornets. They're like big hornets. They get after you, and there's a whole fucking swarm of them, and there's no way to beat them off.
That's crazy, but it's true.
Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a good night, and I'm honored to have my brother Mac on with me, and Stephen is here, my other brother from another mother. Stephen, I'm gonna call you tomorrow, brother. And Jose, we love you out there in California. Uh, Man, we love you a lot. And I haven't forgot about what I told you I was going to hit you with, Max. So don't be thinking I forgot. I don't never forget a damn thing. Okay. I just had a little lapse in memory, and I had a little dip in finances here this week. But we love y'all, and keep your head up, keep your head on a swivel, and
Love you too, brother.
yeah, stay alert, everybody. Max and I will be back same time, same channel tomorrow night. Y'all take care. Bye bye.
Good night.